In this video, we are going to talk about simple steps to get out of poverty. So before starting this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel for the future updates. Making money isn't easy, but it is straightforward. If you make $12 an hour or $60,000 a year, the definition of money remains the same, as does the method of making it. After all, humans are the only ones who play life with a different zero. Some of us play with more players than others, which helps us to make more money, but the rules of the game stay the same, only the stakes change. I've been a millionaire since I was 27, and I've discovered that there are a few main rules to follow if you want to get out of poverty and into the top 1%. Here's a list of the simple steps to get out of poverty. Let's start. Number 10. Equality and representation for all. Marginalization. The structural barriers that leave groups of people without representation in their societies, is one of the major causes of extreme poverty. All groups must be involved in the decision-making process in order for a community or nation to work its way out of poverty, particularly when it comes to getting a say in the things that decide your place in society. Women's unpaid labor accounts for $10 trillion a year, or 13% of global GDP, according to the UN's High-Level Panel on Women's Economic Empowerment. Women own less than 20% of agricultural land, but make up 60% of the agricultural workforce in parts of Africa and Asia, according to the Food and Agriculture Organization. Women are the bedrock of our work in agriculture, former FAO Director General José Graziano da Silva said in 2016. When women have more resources, their farm yields and incomes increase. The management of natural resources has improved. The quality of nutrition has improved. And people's livelihoods are safer. Number 9. Increase access to education. According to the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, if all students in low-income countries had only basic reading skills, and nothing else, an estimated 171 million people would be able to escape extreme poverty. We could reduce global poverty by more than half if all adults completed secondary education. Education improves skills and abilities, reduces risk and insecurity, and corrects some of the imbalances that result from marginalization. Breaking down barriers to education, creating access in remote areas, assisting teachers in their work to provide quality education, and ensuring that education is available to children living in fragile contexts are just a few of the main areas of emphasis for ensuring that education is genuinely for everyone. Number 8. Improve food security and access to clean water. Simply consuming 3 meals a day and having a sufficient amount of calories and nutrients will help break the poverty cycle. When an individual doesn't eat enough, they don't have the strength or energy to function. Contaminated water can cause severe health problems. Furthermore, improving access to clean water will save time for those who live in rural communities, often women and girls. See our first point on marginalization and equality. According to current figures, women and girls spend 200 million hours a day walking long distances to fetch water. Number 7. End war and conflict. If there is no battle, funds set aside to cover the costs of the fighting will be used to provide public services. It also lowers the threats faced by the most disadvantaged groups and ensures that equity and inclusion objectives are met. This is something we've seen time and time again. Though data estimates differ, Syria's poverty rate has risen from about 12% in 2007 to 83% in 2019. In comparison, a decade-long civil war in Nepal came to an end in 2006, resulting in a sharp rise in gross national income, GNI, and gross domestic product, GDP, year over year. Number 6. Stop expecting others to support your laziness. The minimum wage in the United States is intended to assist you in obtaining your first job and progressing from there. It's not going to be the same job for 30 years. If you're protesting or fighting for an extra $3 an hour, you should think about how valuable your time is. Consider the risk that you aren't making any money because others don't respect your time. The explanation for this is that you don't understand the terms value and time, and you definitely don't understand what skills are, since you've spent much of your time wasting it rather than learning them. If it took you 30 years to learn how to serve ice cream, operate a cash register, or speak the language of the country you live in, you may want to consider that your lack of money has more to do with your laziness than anything else. Number 5. Stop making yourself feel good that you are poor. Poverty is a serious issue, similar to becoming an alcoholic. Admitting you have a problem is the best way to resolve it. If you believe that living paycheck to paycheck and settling for the life you have is okay because you are blessed by a higher force, have your health, and have a family you love, you are mistaken. So, here's an amazing discovery for you. You don't have to be poor to be blessed, to have a family, or to worship some God. You will be rich and have everything you want. I could send you dozens of examples of people who are wealthy and content. Admit you have a dilemma, that earning $50,000 a year isn't balling, and that you don't know what to do about it. Number 4. Stop hating money. It will inspire you. To be honest, this is the most vexing thing I've ever experienced. Anytime one of you sees money on the road or someone else's incredible luxuries that you can't afford, you come up with 100 excuses why that person has it easy. Wealthy parents, family support, or just good luck. You make these reasons to avoid doing any of the work that is needed to get there. Isn't it much easier to do nothing than to find out how to acquire your own package of luxuries? Listen, I understand, but this is what holds you back. You don't believe you can have the life you want because it's difficult, or you'd rather be lazy, or you're afraid of failing. But it is, at the end of the day, probable. I was poor when I was younger, but I never had a negative attitude toward money. Instead, I saw all those people with crazy cars and big houses as people to learn from, not as people to envy. Number 3. Expand Medicaid. Millions of Americans have gained access to high-quality, universal health coverage since the Affordable Care Act was signed into law in 2010. However, 23 states have refused to extend their Medicaid services to include adults earning up to 138% of the federal poverty line, making it even more difficult for many low-income families. Expanding Medicaid would provide more than just health care. It would also free up limited household income for other essentials like paying rent and feeding the family. Having health insurance protects you from the financial effects of illness and injury. Unpaid medical bills are the leading cause of bankruptcy. Medicaid coverage has been linked to increased health, improved access to healthcare services, and lower mortality rates, as well as decreased financial pressure, according to studies. Number 2. Raise the minimum wage. A full-time worker earning the minimum wage could raise a family of 3 out of poverty in the late 1960s. If the federal minimum wage had been adjusted to inflation at the time, it would now be $10.86 per hour, compared to $7.25 per hour today. President Barack Obama and other members of Congress have suggested raising the minimum wage to $10.10 per hour and indexing it to inflation, which will bring more than 4 million Americans out of poverty. Almost 1 out of every 5 children will see their parent get a raise. Recent action by cities and states, including Seattle, Washington, California, Connecticut, and New Jersey, illustrates that increasing the minimum wage decreases poverty and raises wages. Number 1. Increase the Earned Income Tax Credit for childless workers. The Earned Income Tax Credit, or EITC, is one of our country's most successful anti-poverty tools, helping more than 6.5 million Americans, including 3.3 million children, escape poverty in 2012. It's also a long-term investment that pays dividends. Children who receive the EITC are more likely to finish high school and gain more money as adults. However, childless employees are mostly excluded from the benefit, as their maximum EITC is less than 1/10 that of workers with 2 children. To correct this error, President Obama and lawmakers from both parties have called for an increase in the EITC. Importantly, this policy shift should be followed by a rise in the minimum wage. One does not imply the other. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.